Hey, what's up guys? Color Truth here with some more Battlefield 3 gameplay, and today I've got some team deathmatch on Wake Island for you all, and this is actually some pretty darn good gameplay. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this, and part of the reason for that is this gun I'm using right now, which is what I want to discuss with you guys today, and it's the MG36. Now, most of you guys know this if you've been subscribing for a while, and that is that I used to really enjoy this weapon back when it was just released and back to Karkin, and before it got nerfed in the March patch, where they took away the extended mag, was the first thing, and that was just an absolute killer for the weapon. But if I recall correctly, they increased the recoil on the weapon as well, and it just made it almost unusable unless you had a flash suppressor on there. And even after, I think it was the September patch is when it got its extended mags back, even after then, I still found myself, it's almost like I had to use the flash suppressor still, because I've still found the recoil to be ridiculous. But that's only because I didn't know how to shoot the gun. I was shooting it how it was before, back when it was still good, when it had really not a lot of recoil, and you could kind of almost tap fire a quick burst of the weapon, and you didn't have to do a different firing method. It was basically almost like a single shot burst. Not really. It was usually about a 2 or 3 shot burst with this weapon, and the recoil was very low, and it was incredibly accurate when you did that. Now the gun has changed up a little bit, and see, the problem I was doing, like I said, was I was still doing that quick tap fire kind of burst thing with the gun, and it was not working for me. I was getting really frustrated. It's like, why can I not use this weapon? It's not good anymore. This thing is terrible. I hate it, and all I was using was the M240B, which I still think is better than this gun, honestly. I still do. The M240B is just it's the best LMG you can get out there. I really do enjoy the weapon, but when using this MG36, I went back to it kind of going, no, how in the world do I figure this thing out? I used to really enjoy it, and I really want to enjoy using this weapon again. I want to use it, so how do I fire this gun? Well, it turns out that I found that instead of doing that kind of short, like tap fire bursting, you now need to do a longer burst with the weapon and let its recoil kind of just settle down. It seems to kick up real hard at first, and then you just let it kind of settle down as you hold the trigger. Now, you don't want to just hold it down the whole time. I'd recommend anywhere from about 5 to 10 shots and then let up. Some of these shots you can do right here, as you can see, even though I am being suppressed and then get shot in the back by a shotgun, I was still able to stay on target for the most part because I was shooting within 5 to 10 shot bursts, which kind of allows the recoil to settle in. And usually, I find that for me, to make it usable. Because before, it was just like the recoil just kicked up. It was out of control. I couldn't use the weapon. And now, I found that I can use this gun again. And now that I have, wow, this gun, it is really good. It's still not better than the M240B, but this is one freaking good light machine gun. So if you're someone that maybe perhaps is new to the game and you just unlocked the MG36, it's a weapon I would recommend using because it's a gun that will, once you really learn how to shoot this weapon, you'll be surprised with the results you'll get. And I really think that this is one of the better LMGs in the class if you learn how to shoot it right. Before I really learned how to shoot it, I thought it was terrible. You know, I was like, oh, this gun's not good anymore. Like the L86 M27's better. I can now use this thing with extended mags, and it's just a flat-out beast, as you can see from these clips, just absolutely getting behind, destroying the team. And the weapon, just with that 100 rounds, you can't beat that. It's just so good, and it's a lot of fun to use because of that fast 750 RPM. You can run around, be aggressive some days. Like, basically in this gameplay, I'm running around with a chick with my head cut off is what I'm playing like. And I can do that with this because the fire rate is fast enough. I can keep up in close quarters and drop weapons like any kind of assault weapons, carbines. Shotguns is probably the biggest thing you'll have trouble with, but other than that, you can keep up pretty well in close quarters combat. Now, what about the foregrip on this gun? Is that something you should consider running? Well, I tried the foregrip out, and it seems like some days it's on, some days it's off. In the sense of, well, some days I use the foregrip, and I'm just spot on. I can hit everything, no problem. Then there's some days I put the foregrip on, it's like, what in the world has happened to the gun? You know, my reticle's right on his body, and I'm not getting any bullet registration. It seems to me it's almost like a 50-50 shot whether or not the foregrip is going to work for me that day or not. But, as you can see in this gameplay, I'm not running with the foregrip. I find that you really don't need it. Once again, if you learn how to control the weapon, as you can see there, just dominating a shotgun in close quarters. I'm surprised I lived through that, but as you can see, this gun can keep up in close quarters. But the foregrip, I don't find is really needed on this weapon. Once you learn how to control that recoil, it's just, for me, just pull straight down on your joystick or your mouse, whatever you're using. And I find that this weapon, you can control it basically no problem. And it turns into a beast of a weapon that, like I said, is good, but it's still not the best when it comes to support class. In terms of just running gun, just the fast-firing LMGs in the game, I'd probably say this is probably the best one, even over the M27, L86, or M249. The L86 and M27, I find work a little better with a heavy barrel on. I've tried it on the MG36 and I don't seem to do very well. Extended mags for me is the way to go. Occasionally I'll run laser sight if I want to hit fire if I'm playing like some Canal CDM or on close quarters DLC maps, but for the most part, extended mags for me is the way to go. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this gameplay. Like I said, it turned out to be pretty darn good, and I've kind of just, it's kind of like the return of the MG36 in the sense of I found this gun again, and I really think that it's now a beast of a weapon if you really learn to just control it and learn how to shoot it right. Longer bursts as opposed to shorter ones, kind of let the weapon settle into its recoil, then burst again, and you'll probably find yourself getting a surprising number of kills. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider rating it. I appreciate it very much, and leave me your thoughts about this weapon below in the comment section if it's something where you might try the MG36 out now, or if it's a gun that you really just honestly don't care about. I'm kind of curious to hear how you guys view this gun. Take care, guys. See you next time. Bye.